by Riverside.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Dak Cohen podcast. I am your host, Dak Cohen, and today I am here with Parkrose Unified head coach Jamal Goodlow and assistant head coach Julie Sams. So, I brought you guys here today to kind of explain how, to share to the people how you guys as a team at first began, on top of kind of leading all those students to a championship win at Linfield University against North Umpqua. So the first question I have is, how was the recruiting of, so this is for you, Jamal, how was this thing began? Like, how did you pitch the idea to Julie in the first place to become the assistant coach of Unified?
Well, I always knew I needed another coach, and definitely a female coach, just for like the female players on the team. And then I heard that Julie was an athlete back in the day, so I was like, oh, it's a perfect fit. Like, she's good with the students, and she knows the sports game, so that's why it was an easy process.
Okay. Anything you would like to share, Julie, about how you agreed to come on board with the Parkrose Unified basketball team?
Well, I mean, basically, Jamal was like a winning coach, and so of course I'm going to try and join that train right away.
All right.
No, I just wanted to also say, in all seriousness, I just heard about Jamal and it took him a long time to curate this team, and so obviously this was just my first year, but Jamal's been working with our students in our community for a long time, so I was just really fortunate to join this year.
Right. And I mean, you guys, from what I saw, my point of view going into the season, I'm like, how is this new duo gonna fare with, handling with people like Robert, Trey, our starting five, and some other kiddos that I won't name, but you know who I might think of. But yeah, I was like, I wonder what their executing game plan is, or is it going to be like switched off between different games? How is that going to work,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Well, it definitely made my job easier having like somebody to help me out, because like when I was like concentrating so much on the game, Julie was like helping me out with the kids on the bench, and then like reminding me like, hey, who hasn't played, or just like, hey, this kid's getting upset. But she was able to, like, for instance, when our homegirl Sasha was having a rough day, she was able to like the year before, it was like me doing all of that, but like last year having Julie like helping like talk to her and really like ease the stress away.
I think it's also really important for the head coach to be able to keep, their eye on the vision of the bigger game, of the bigger season. And sometimes when you have assistant coach or assistant coaches, there's too many voices. But I think the piece that I really admire about Jamal is that, he has a vision. He's a great coach. And my role was never to like try and be like, oh, and this and this. It's just like my role was to support Jamal however he needed to do it. Because the confusing part, as an athlete, Dak, yourself, is that when there's too many voices talking to you from coaches. So it's really to making sure that everyone's paying attention to the overall picture from Coach Goodlow.
Yeah, interesting. So this kind of goes into next season, or just like in the high school in general. So Jamal, I know you're gonna be taking over another teacher's caseload for special needs students, and you're just like right down the hall from Julie's office. And how would it be for you guys to see each other like on a regular basis, and see some of your Unified players as well?
I think like it's perfect. It makes recruiting easy, and then like it makes like like it was kind of hard sometimes, like texting Julie during the like days before games, and like getting uniforms ready, and then like she wouldn't have to do all that alone either no more. And like I know you're going to help a lot get the uniforms, Dakota. So it's going to be easier. It's going to make it way. It's hard like coaching when you're at a different school. Like I coach Roosevelt baseball, but I'm not the head coach, so it makes it a little bit easier. But like when you're a head coach of a program, I think it's harder like to run your program if you're at a different school. So it's definitely going to help.
And hopefully I can help with the paperwork next year.
Mm-hmm.
Just tracking kids down and seeing what help they need to fill it out.
Right. I mean, I can't believe it'll be my final unified season either. I mean, I'm heading to senior year, and it's like, whoa, time flies very fast.
Yeah. What are you thinking about that, Dakota?
I wish I wasn't in my senior year just because of the friends I made, but just in general, kind of like how the team's grown since I first decided to help, the team out in my own way. Mm-hmm. And then, just building a nice chemistry relationship with the team in general. So, yeah.
Yeah, bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting that you'll be my case manager next year for sure.
Oh, yeah. You guys make sure you stay in class now.
I'll stay in class.
Yeah.
All right. My next question is how. Let's see here. What do you guys think we're gonna go back to back as unified state champions? Depending on what our schedule looks like.
I don't know. It's tough. Like we went back to back state title. Like championship game. So like, but I don't want to be too cocky, because when you're too cocky, then you're trying to expect to win it all, and then you like slip up or something because you're not like focusing. So I'm going to say we're just going to focus even harder this year than last year, because a lot of teams are going to be gunning for us, and there's tougher teams, tougher opponents. I think we set the bar like I think our first like last year, 2 years ago, we had the bar right here. And then I think last year we set the bar for unified like up here. So I think it's going to be really different next year.
I also think that what I feel like contributed to our win this year for state is that we have a lot of depth on our bench. We have a lot of depth just on our starting five, let alone our bench. And so when Jamal made, like he's like, okay, I can sub out, 3 to 4 kids and then just have like a really strong, second team, so to speak. And so I don't see that changing at all. Obviously, Jamal has a lot of connections with a lot of the students at the high school. So just having, a full team and having that talent on the bench is really helpful.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm hoping we, go back to back, because I don't think a unified championship team has done that before, I don't think.
Nope, not yet.
But hopefully we'll be the first to do it. Not being too cocky, like you said, but just only hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, two-peat, three-peat, we're not trying to be picky.
Yeah.
As many as we can get before, the current, before you have to go through a whole new batch of students who want to sign up and play ball, So
yeah, I think after next year, we're going to be rebuilding. Yeah, next year will be our last to-go squad, and then after that, it's going to be a rebuilding process, which would be fun though. It's fun to rebuild too.
Right. Because then you can re-contend for a title. But you got who do we got leaving this year? You got me and juniors last year, and then you have Roberts last year as well on top of Trey, because Trey doesn't intend to play until he's 21. He already said to me and Robert, he's like, I'd rather just stick with you guys since it's your last season. It might as well be mine.
Yeah.
And then my mother actually, my mom actually ran into Sasha recently on the TriMet bus, and she asked, "Are you going to come back for another unified season?" And Sasha's remark was, "Maybe. Well, Jamal lets me."
Oh, she's always welcome. She knows that.
She's always welcome. Yeah. But speaking of girls, that's kind of something that I was, Jamal and I talked about this a little bit of just like how do we recruit more girls from the high school as well
Right, like
for
we need,
athletes and partners.
yeah, like you need more representation in unified basketball for females because we hardly have any representation outside of, you and Sasha to kind of show that it's not just a men's dominated team, it can also be a women's dominated team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's Malala that has a couple of really standout female athletes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And I can't remember the other ones, but yeah.
I think Estacada had a couple of females.
Mm-hmm. We definitely have some great athletes at Parkrose High School. So yeah.
Yeah. Recruiting. I can't wait. Go sign that contract.
Get the school transfer going.
Yeah. Trying to open the transfer portal and get that guy from Cleveland, the lefty. He's talking about transfer.
Oh yeah.
He wants to play football for Parkrose, so hopefully he can get him the transfer.
Oh yeah.
That'd be the first unified transfer portal.
That is so cool.
That'd be awesome.
He basically tried to join our team last year, right? So
yeah, he really wanted to play. I felt so bad. I wish that's another thing I'm gonna try to bring up to the community. If like kids that want to play in the state and their teams can't make it, like, can they play for other teams?
Yeah, right.
Not where it's like you're building an all-star team, but it's just like, okay, like spread them out. Like, oh, you play for Estacada at the tournament, you play for ball. Like they deserve to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking, of transfers, kind of going along with that, Parkrose Unified Sports in general has a new addition to, the unified sports itself, and we're adding a soccer league. I wanted to see what both your guys' either like feedback or reaction to the announcement of unified soccer being a thing to add to our unified representation for sports.
Well, we're still trying to finalize it. We're like 80% complete for that, and hopefully it goes through. Just like little things we have to finish up for the paperwork and stuff like that if we could get it. So we're still keeping our fingers crossed.
And Jamal, does that start a little bit later compared to? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That's true.
I'm sure I'm looking at like just 5 games maybe. And we can schedule them, like, the thing about that, we can schedule them whenever we want. We can, like, text a team, like, hey, next week you guys want to play, and then...
Oh, that's great. Yeah. For, like, if it does go through for this year.
Yeah.
Like
okay. There's, like, we can still get them in. I'm still going to, like, tell, like, Special Olympics we're still interested, so they'll keep our names on there and not, like, just kick us out. So.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because... I actually already signed the forms and hopped on board as a kind of a helper out or assistant GM or whatever. So you want to give me a title as? Soccer days are behind me. My soccer days are behind me, but I'm willing to help out. Or unify. Any unified sport that comes along.
Yeah.
But it is exciting to see that. More high school students, if they don't care to play basketball, you got the option of playing soccer instead.
Yeah. And then next year we're going to do hopefully track and field. So they'll have like 3 seasons, fall and winter and spring, to do something.
Kind of branch out all the seasons. So it's not just one season.
Our kids deserve to play.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
exactly.
Representation.
Mm-hmm.
Some of Mr. Door's kids that I saw, like, I think it was like second to last day before the seniors left, Kaya and Ellie were out there on the field playing volleyball or something like that with the net in the field, and I was like, hey Ellie, I heard you like soccer, is that true? And she's like, yeah, I love soccer, I love to kick.
Oh yeah, she's pumped up.
And
there we go. Like, there's one.
I was like, are you signing up? I was like, are you signing up for unified soccer? And she's like, yeah, when it's available. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll be helping out with the team. She's like, oh really? I was like, yeah. Be helping out the team.
Well, if anyone needs to extra push, we can recruit Ellie to be kind of a spokesperson to the
Yeah, I like
district.
that. I think Ellie's going to be the new Kaya.
Yeah, exactly. And Kaya's going to play next year, isn't he?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
He signed his letter intent to leap, so he's down.
right on.
He's getting really excited about that too.
Yeah, he's such a pumped up dude.
Mm-hmm.
The only I feel bad because like I think William doesn't understand he can't play no more, so he's like he's pumped up. I was like, so I think I'm going to bring him on as like a assistant, like helper.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think since he goes to Mount Hood, I think he could get some kind of like volunteer credit or something like that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Would he be? Would he get like? Would he be as a player or as like a helper?
No, just like a helper.
Just a normal helper. Okay.
Like team manager. Team's been.
Okay.
He also is really good at free throws, and he was great at coaching free throws when we did that.
Yeah.
When Jamal, when you did that demonstration with the team in December,
yeah, he was.
Oh,
yeah. So he could do some individual coaching too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of going back to the leading all the way up to the state championship game. What were your guys' thoughts, when we first hit that playoff road to going towards the playoffs? What were you guys like kind of thinking and encouraging the team to do?
First round I was kind of confident, like I'm not going to lie, because I figure like if we just play our game, I seen the way that the first team we played, I was like, okay, if we just play our style, I had a feeling we're gonna win that game, like for sure. Semifinals.
I also think that right before that, when you had kind of the more serious pep talk, Jamal, and just said, hey, we're a team here, and when you come to practice, like you need to be bring it. Yeah, that's it. I feel like that shifted, and I totally like when we went into our first couple of playoff games. I was like, all right, we're bringing it. People listen to that.
Yeah.
And
I think that I don't know if Dakota can answer this, but I think that always catches kids off guard because I'm always like smiling and happy go lucky. But like I think like you said, that serious like pep talk like clicked in it. Like, oh, go time. I think
yeah, it kind of clicked in everyone a different way, because I remember we had one very bad game and then you got really fed up and you're like, oh, what is my team doing? We need to get our heads, in the right shape. So you tell us to rush upstairs into the black box, and then you're like, don't say a word or you're kicked off or you won't play this game or something like that. You were kind of just giving us a message saying we need to play our best. We need to actually work as a team and not, diddly-dolly around.
Yeah.
And kind of get our shit together and, just get more wins like we usually do. Like, I don't know what was happening that game either.
I think that was after the Cleveland, and it wasn't more that we lost, is because it was we had a bad attitudes. Everybody was like cussing and people were like talking mess to the other team and a ref, and I was like, dude, I would rather lose every game instead of like win every game and lose one and act like that. So that was more about like you guys were being poor sports. Like we don't play just to beat everybody. We're not going to win every game, but to like show like that when we lose, that was like horrible. Like so that was like the message. Like if we lose, that's fine, but we're never going to act like that.
Right, like we shouldn't be acting like that.
Yeah,
we should be acting like more of a team, not a one man or woman, squad,
Right. But it was good though. It was a good good awakening.
Yep. And we had so many compliments all throughout the year about how well we did when we won. Mm-hmm. Everyone always complimented Jamal and his team. And so then we still want the same thing. It's like if we lose, we still want to be respectful to the other team, acknowledge that. And, we can always make growth. But like you said, like just handling failure the same way you handle success.
Right.
Yeah, because like, I don't know, the way I saw it, it was like, okay, something's about to go down. I should probably just hush up or just try to like get the message through my head of what Jamal's kind of saying here.
That was wise.
I won't be eligible to play.
That's smart.
Yeah, Dakota, you read the room well.
Yeah.
We should make like a little guidelines book of like ways to make not to make Jamal mad, or else you won't play the next game or the rest of the season.
It takes a lot to get me mad, and like I said, I never get mad. I just don't like I don't like poor losing. Like, man, you can't. You're not, like I told you guys, we're not gonna win every game, but like just that loss and that attitude after that loss, that was so ugly. Like that's not how we represent Parkrose.
Right. We were at Parkrose with what's a certain word that we could describe ourselves as a
team? Awesome. No.
Probably like respectful, I would say. Yeah. Respectful and humble when it comes to playing against opponents on the floor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just community minded. We, as a team or a community, we always want to support each other, but also as a, within the Special Olympics, within Unified. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of after that little hiccup after that Cleveland game, and that little pep talk, what were your guys' thoughts, the day of when the Unified State Championship was being hosted at Linfield?
Well, I woke up and I was really sick, and I was like, oh, God, I felt horrible. I was like, I can't get anybody else sick. But I'm like, I cannot miss this. Right. So I just was like super nervous, and I was like, this is a big deal. It's a really big deal. And Jamal is so practiced and so experienced with coaching. He was just like, all right, let's go, you guys. I think your calmness, Jamal, just like set the tone for everyone to, kind of walk in and just do what they do best.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you. And then, I don't know, once I found out it was North Umpqua, I was like, okay, here we go again, but like, just like last year, I knew like our speed and athleticism was going to beat that team no matter what. And, the first half, it was close. I was nervous, and then I think I yelled a couple of times because I just know like because if we get the rebounds and run, nobody's going to keep up what I said. And I think that fourth quarter, when we finally did that push like that, I think we were like 12 straight points. And their coach is just like, okay, he's done. Like, and we put our subs in. That just showed like all we had to do is just play our game, and we could beat anybody. I think the first half, everybody's just like uptight, like nervous to miss or nervous to mess up instead of just like being relaxed.
Mm-hmm. And that just showed just the depth of our bench also, and when people are having to do like conditioning in the beginning of the year, this is like where it really showed us that like people will be able to keep up all 4 quarters. That was cool.
Right. I mean, like you could tell, people were starting to get tired at the end, but we kept pushing through for those 12 points, and then I believe there was like one player on our team that refused to get subbed out. Was that Junior? I think Junior kind of refused.
Oh yeah, he's giving his 120% no matter what. Like,
yeah, he like refused to get subbed out. He's like, I'm not getting subbed out. You can't decide this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting the way we, came together, got our heads on right, and then, kind of pushed forth into getting that title win. And, Parkrose finally has a banner, in the Raptors for their basketball section for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, we're making Parkrose look good.
Yeah.
Right. And we weren't the only team either to win a title. Shout out to the dance team. They also got their win too. At dance.
Exactly. And I think like the band coach is just kind of like us. We run our teams like just talking to the band coach. The way she runs her squads, it's like the same way we run our like unified team, and I think that's why we click too, because we both want the same thing for our squads, like just to be recognized. Like dance should be out here just as much as basketball, or girls basketball, or football, and I feel the same way about unified. Like we should be out here, and like everybody should see us too. So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, speaking of a shout out, that was really nice that Jake just recognized a piece of it during the well-attended assembly. Just like you said, Jamal, just put it on people's radar. It's like, oh, we have a unified team? Like, yeah, check it out next year.
We got our,
We got
got our
kids that
little
want
band.
to be helpers for our team. Like everybody wants to play on our team now.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
now we got to
awesome.
turn away like helpers. Before we had to struggle for helpers, we were getting like track kids for helpers, and now we're getting varsity boys that want to play and varsity girls that want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the more the merrier, but we can't have
Mhm.
too many because then it will probably
Yep.
turn into helpers basketball more than
Yeah.
unified.
Well, I'm glad there's only two to be on the court. So
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was great for you Jamal to reach out to those guys, or if they reaching out to you and saying, hey, can we pitch in and help you guys with going to Linfield, winning that state title. How about it?
yeah, that was nice.
So yeah, if both you guys had one message kind of leading into next season for all the players, what would that message be in terms of going back to back, or just not having another bad game like we did with Cleveland?
I wouldn't worry about the bad game. That's going to happen. It's just sports. Nobody's going to go undefeated. People lose. But my message would be like, be ready to run a lot, drink lots of water. We're going to do a lot of conditioning this year. In the off season, we're going to do a lot of running. We're going to do a lot of pressing, and then stay in school and get those grades right. Because this year, I'm going to start looking in grades. Like if your grades are bad, you're going to be setting quarters. Like we're changing this whole culture. So.
That's exact. Thanks, Jamal, for saying that. I was just going to say, stay connected to school. Ask if you need help. We have a lot of great people on our team. Lean on us. Lean on other players if you need support. And then exactly just like do what you do best. And practicing outside of our practices and games really helps you go a lot further.
Right. I mean, I'm a type of person that doesn't tend to have bad grades, as I've kind of shown in the past. Usually A's and B's. So I don't think you'll find anything, Jamal, that will be like,
I want to be looking.
I don't think Dak needs to sit out this quarter, but we'll see.
But Dak, you can be a peer buddy for some of our students, or might be, sophomore, juniors next year, and say, "Hey, I'm taking this class. I have this teacher." It's like, "Oh, it's really helpful. I found if I did this, this, or this," and just supporting each other is really helpful too.
Yeah, I mean, if I, had a message for the team itself, I think that would be, just respect one another. Let's get this stuff done, and let's get another title. Why not? It'd be
Why not?
What's
Exactly.
better than having one than two?
Exactly. Back to back. Let's do it.
Have another banner hanged up in the rafters. Well, I actually talked to Damien about her banner. I was like, so what are you doing with her banner? And I said, are you hanging it up in the rafters or what? He's like, no, we're changing it up. We're taking all the current ones down from the rafters, and then they're going to hang it against the wall. So
Thanks for always being an advocate, Dakota.
No, good job, Dakota.
Yeah,
you're always
exactly. You're not afraid just to go up to anybody and ask a question. I love it.
Yeah, and that's what I like.
If I have a question, I'll ask my question. If I don't, then I don't.
And look who I got here right now. Come here. Got our assistant coach, Jameson.
Jameson! Hey, how's it going?
Good.
How's summer school? Nice.
All right, it's for the podcast, but you big time now, Jameson. Yes, sir. Good lunch. I'll see you. All right, I'll be out there in the short.
Jameson's so sweet.
Oh, he can't wait to play on the team too. So that's what
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Is he playing next season?
No, he'll be 6th grade. We're still going to try to get the middle school event. We got to get that going.
Yeah. I know you have some good ideas, Jamal. It's just like how do we
have like
funded?
Mainly for this program in general. Like I just love Special Olympics. Like
you're kind of like.
If I didn't teach, I would work at Special Olympics. I think.
I was gonna say maybe there's a space for that at some point in Parkrose.
Yeah, because you're trying to branch out to more things. That's not just high school based. It could also be elementary level or middle school.
All throughout.
because
Yep.
I think my
Maybe we can make that new division. I could just be the head Special Olympic coordinator.
Seriously, I know. There's, yeah, restructure the special education department, create a spot.
Yeah, we got
Work elementary, middle, and high school because you know all the ages.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too. That's your next pitch. I can already feel it.
That is.
Mhm.
I like that.
Unified football would be a thing,
And then there's several things you can do in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Because parents are always asking about that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it would be hard to do while teaching, but like if that was just a different program branch, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Ooh,
There we go.
there we go. We just made a new department.
I know. And you can work adjusted hours. You could work like 10 to 6 every day.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, Dakota, we might need your help in asking some questions and advocating.
Okay, that'll be fun. I'm a good Special Olympics advocator for Parkrose.
You are.
You are.
Exactly. Yeah.
All I need is my suit and tie, and then I'm good to go.
Oh, wow. Bringing it.
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, thank you guys for joining me on this edition of my podcast. It was great talking to you guys about, your shared experiences of kind of leading us to the promised land and finally bringing home a title to Parkrose for the first time in God who knows long, But yeah, thank you
Thanks for
guys
having us,
For
Dakota.
having us, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys for listening to this edition of the Dat Cohen Podcast. Make sure to follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Dat Cohen Podcast. I am your host, Dat Cohen, and this is Julie and Jamal. And I'll see you guys next time for another edition of the Dat Cohen Podcast. Your host, Dat Cohen. Out.